labeling it the Donington Massacre after what we did down there. We were expected to do some things. WASP have always been unpredictable, and we didn't see Donington as being any different than anything we've ever done before. We knew people were going to be waiting and watching for us to do something unusual, so we decided we'd give them more bang for their buck, so to speak.
I mean, apart from actually destroying the stage at the end of your set, it also featured a return of the girl on the stage and...
Well, that contraption that we constructed a few years back is called, we call it the rack, for lack of nothing better to call it. And what that whole show was designed to do was to send a message to people, signaling the return of the old WASP. The old WASP is back and here to stay, be that good or bad, whether you like it or not. That's about the way it's going to be from now on. As a matter of fact, there have been certain incidences that have happened in the last 6 months that have led us to this, and I would say that if people thought that we were outrageous before, they ain't seen nothing yet.
When you say certain instances, are you referring to the PMRC and
a lot of it is the PMRC. The PMRC has been a plague that has hounded us for the last 2 years in America, and it's been something that we refused to talk about for a long time. And it was almost like a fly. It was this pesky thing, like, shoo, get away, get away. And we were hoping that it would go away. And not only did they not go away, they finally revealed themselves about 3 months ago as to what they were all about, which is essentially trying to put a man in the White House. The PMRC has been nothing more than a political platform to put Albert Gore, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And that in itself is one thing. But Tipper Gore, who is Albert Gore's wife, has written a book. She is the head of the PMRC. She has written a book called Raising PG Kids in an X-Rated Society. And it was bad enough when they used us to get publicity out of. And I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. What better way to get attention than to go after an attention getter? That was one thing. But when she wrote this book to fuel the fire for his presidential campaign and was using me in that as well. To pick on me is one thing, to make money off of me is another, and the buck stops here literally on that. So we're going to sue them because they have reprinted lyrics in this book without permission. They've changed the lyrics, which I ask myself, if our lyrics are that bad to begin with, why they have to change them. They reprinted the infamous Animals single sleeve without permission as well. So what we're asking essentially is for a cease and desist on this book, to stop printing it. So we will sue her and the publisher for one of two things: $50,000 in cash to be donated to a charity of our choice, and it won't be his campaign fund, or a handwritten apology to be given to me on nationwide television, which is really what I want. And I doubt that it'll ever get to either one of those, but if we get our point across to get them to stop this book, I'll be happy with that. I don't want to see this ever get that far where a man like this gets put into the White House. First of all, I don't trust a man that sleeps with a woman like that. And if they get control of the FCC, which is our federal communication, then you're going to have a state that if people think America's conservative now, they haven't seen anything.
switching the conversation a little bit to your new album, Wasp have got a brand new live album out, Live in the Raw. It's actually only your 4th album. What made you decide to release a live record at this time?
When we were here last year, we made a recording for the BBC when we played Hammersmith. And I went and I mixed it, and we were astounded at the quality of it. We thought, well, maybe we have something here. So we went back to America, and we started thinking about it. And so we made preparations to record the last few shows of the American tour. And we recorded them, and they turned out to be what we thought was the essence of what Wasp was all about. At that point, we thought that it might be a little premature to release a live album in its own, so we put 3 new tracks on it as well to try to give it some sort of a bonus feeling as well. It won't be a record that Wasp will try to tour on. It won't be a record that we will go for a year before we release another record. We go back to America in a couple of days, just commence work on the next studio album, which should be out somewhere at the end of February '88. But I think that we have finally, like I said, captured the essence of what we're all about, because Wasp are essentially a live band. And we've done records that I thought that were good, but nothing that ever had the magic that this record has.
Also, there's one studio track on the album, which is, of course, the new single "Scream Until You Like It."
Right, the Ghoulies soundtrack.
Right, which is also the theme tune to the new Ghoulies movie.
Right.
What's the story there? What came first, the film or the song?
Well, actually, the company came first, because there's a company called Empire Pictures back in America, and we did a film for them about 3 years ago called Rage War. which was released over here, I believe, called The Dungeon Master, something like that. A horrible film. I mean, it wasn't worth watching. And this person that runs the company they were going to do a Ghoulies sequel. Well, when they did the first Ghoulies, it was right about the time we had done our movie, so I went in to see a private screening for it, and they happened to have a copy of the first Ghoulies. So the guy says, "Do you want to see part of it?" And I says, "Yeah, okay, well, I'm here, show it to me," you know. So I watched about 30 minutes, and I says, "I've seen all I want to see, that's okay, thank you." So they approached us with this. They said, "Would you like to do the soundtrack for it?" And I says, "No, I don't think so." And they said, "Well, why not?" And I said, "Well, I saw the first one and I wasn't very impressed with it." And the guy says, "Well, you realize it did $35 million in business." And I said, "Excuse me, I do believe I could get interested in this." So we did it, wrote the song for it, did the video. I would say that I think the video for the Scream Until You Like It track is one of the better ones that we've ever done, because it's these little creatures, and in the video they're like my children, and I send them out to do all these horrible, horrible things, and they come back and they report back to me, and there was magic when we were shooting it, and we realized it, and it was incredible, because as I'm sitting there, they're sitting on my lap, and I talk to them, and they talk back to me, and it takes 5 guys to operate each one of them, and their ears move independently, their eyes move, their lips curl, and their mouths move, and they talk, literally, and it was really an incredible thing. And when they were sitting on my lap, and I talked to them, when they talked back, I bought it. I could see the guys on the floor operating, but they literally come to life. It's a lot of Jim Henson's people from the Muppets that did them, and the guys are nothing short of fantastic.
Don't be afraid if your heart's running ready to go.
Okay, so what happens for you and the band right now? Although you say you're not going to tour tremendously on the back of your new live album, I understand you are going to be playing nevertheless in America.
We've talked about doing a half a dozen dates in America, just the major cities. Same thing we did here with Donington, something to create profile for the record. But largely what we want to do is get back to work on a new record, because we don't want to go for an entire year on just a live album. In other words, we try to segue our time where we're not gone from any one area more than about a year and a half at a time. So by the time we could do another album and get back here to Europe, it will have been a year and a half since we were here before. So that should be just about perfect timing for us to come back, say April of '88.
Will it still be Wasp? What's happening? From now on, it's going to be called Blackie, Lawless, and Wasp. We're looking for a new guitar player. We haven't settled on anyone as of yet. We haven't really been looking. The thing that's important at this point is that we get through the record, and we're about a third of the way finished right now. You know, so the only thing that I need to do is just concentrate on what I'm doing. I mean, I built a studio, you know, a 48-track state-of-the-art studio. I got tired of dealing with studio owners and things like that. So unless you've ever done it, it is a phenomenal amount of footwork or legwork to put one of them together. And it seems like we've been making a record in our spare time with everything that's been going on around this, the construction of it all. But it's the greatest thing because it's such a relaxed environment. I mean, you're not watching the clock every 5 minutes. We go in when we want to go in, we leave, we rock till we drop, you know, then we go home, or, you know, I mean, the place will sleep 4 people comfortably, you know, so it's a great thing. So the record should be out sometime in March, and I can't say enough about it. I mean, it's such a relaxed atmosphere. Let's put it this way. Everybody who's in there now is there because they want to be there. And that's the way it really should be.
Absolutely. Now, as you know, the Ball is always after exclusive news. So we tried to persuade Blackie to give us some more inside information.
You know, all you journalist guys are saying, you expect me to go to bed with you on the first date. You know, like, now see, if I tell you everything right now, you're not going to want to come back and talk to me in 3 or 4 months when I can tell you what's going on right now. And I know that. That's okay. That's all right. I have a title for the album. It's a conceptual album. I've got all the titles for the songs, but I think we'll just leave that for another time.
Blackie Lawless playing his cards pretty close to his chest there, but obviously some new and exciting things to look forward to when the album is released early next year. So much for the future of Wasp. Let's look back to the band's earlier days. Here's I Don't Need No Doctor. story that inspired this latest Wasp masterpiece.
Story about a boy named Jonathan Beale. He grows up in a lower middle class family where he is the second of two boys. The older boy, Michael, is the favorite of the parents. And the parents are always looking at Jonathan, who is really the central character to the Crimson Idol. They're always looking at him as, you know, why are you here? Because effectively he's a mistake of nature. He's not wanted. And the older brother gets killed in a car crash on Jonathan's 14th birthday, and the parents are always looking at Jonathan like, why wasn't it you instead of him? So he spends his life basically trying his best to convince his parents that he is worthy of their attention and their affection. It's to no avail. It doesn't work for him. So he discovers music, and he decides, you know, that he's going to run away from home and seek his fame and fortune in the music industry. And so he does, and he runs away. And he becomes one of the biggest things the world has ever seen. I mean, he's a superstar. But this story is not so much about someone's rise to stardom. This is more about a journey that a boy takes and the people that he meets along the way. Because there's 9 different characters in the Crimson Idol, and Jonathan, although he is the essential character, he is only one. Because this album is loaded with all kinds of subplots and things like that. Charlie is supposedly the president of one of the biggest record companies in the world. And the chainsaw is symbolic in this story, that the chainsaw is the record industry itself. There's a line that Charlie uses to Jonathan in the story, or in the narration, where he's explaining to Jonathan what the business is about.
Room, wherever you are in Europe, you'll be very glad to hear that my next guest, a very special guest, they come all the way from America to be on this programme. Hope they won't regret it. Blackie Lawless and John Rod from Wasp. Yes, here they are. Welcome, guys.
How you doing?
Howdy.
Hey, thanks
Long
for coming
trip.
in.
Thanks.
Long trip, yes, for a short time on MTV. Now, you're here, of course, to celebrate the imminent release this Monday of the new album, the new Wasp album, The Crimson Idol, as sort of the first